き走る想像答えはどこにあるの当たり障りのないような澄ました言葉じゃ私自身の確信にも触れられない裏と表の背中合わせ組み合わせた一つのパズルほどけない心の糸が織りなす未来へ時が溶けてゆくのなら終わらない痛みが綺麗になるそうで語ろう矛盾と裏の希望があるのならきっと優先
You don't want that. You want this. It's usually the best way to, in my opinion, the best way to save your And yeah, that's it, guys. I'm gonna stop it right here. Try to get to this point, just like this general creation of the cheetah's head. And I'll see you back on the next one when we add the jaw and start working on some of the secondary forms. So hang on tight, and I'll see you back on the next one. Bye bye. Very well, guys. So let's continue with the second part of this very nice sculpture, which is the cheetah skull. Now, as you can see here in the reference, the cheetah skull has a jaw, and the jaw is going to be very, very important. This one seems to be a little bit more decomposed. I really like this one right here, which I think is a cast. I think it's like a 3D effect because it's really, really soft. So we're going to use it as a reference, but then we're going to deviate from it and create a little bit more interesting effect, okay? So in order to work with multiple subtools, because yes, we could extrude the jaw from here, but I don't think it's really necessary. We need to use something called a subtool, okay? So, as the name implies, a subtool is another part of the tool. The main tool, in this case, is the skull. Subtools are going to be extra parts that we have. And generally, as long as you see a different part, a different island, a different object, you want to keep it as a separate subtool because it will give you better results in the long run. So, to add a new subtool is very easy. You're just going to go here to this option right here that says append. You're going to click it, and then you can append any sort of like basic shape. I'm going to start with another sphere, which is this one right here. Now, there we go, cheetah. We should only have this one right here. It works a little bit better when you have more subtools, and then visibility tree, it will only have this one right here. Okay, so you can again switch around each one of these ones, or you can use the little eye button right there. So now it's a matter of modifying this and creating the shape that we want. So I'm gonna use my move brush, and I'm gonna start moving this around. Now, as you can see, there's no symmetry. Very careful here. To the center, not super thin, because we have a couple of teeth on the front. See, you can see me there changing the size of the...
そうだ。一つ考えがあるのですが。
あんなこんな時間に。迷子だと？
はい。
少年、君が誰と何をしようと自由だが、私を巻き込まないでくれたまえ。私は午前4時過ぎまで骨を組んでいたんだ。私の体は今君との会話ではなく睡眠を欲している。
本当にこの人ならこの子の身元がわかるのか？のはずなんですけど。
There we go. Let's push it forward or backwards. There we go. Smooth, remember shift, smooth. And now we need to do again the same trick that we did before to cut the hole, because as you can see here in the reference, the jaw is of course hollow. So you will see this sort of like a U shape, but it won't have any sort of any other thing. So here's where turning off the skull will be a nice idea. Now I'm gonna do the same trick. So I'm gonna use B, I, and then use a primitive. And let's use the sphere. Alt and draw the sphere. There we go. So remember that's like a negative sphere. And then I'm going to use my move brush to kind of like sculpt the sphere. See how I'm sculpting the sphere right here? To kind of go across the whole thing. Okay. So it can get a little bit tricky because we're seeing like the other side of the sphere, which is fine. And then here on the front view, that gives me roughly a general idea of where this thing's going to be. There we go. So now, again, control, drag again. To recalculate. Oh, we don't have Dynamesh. We need to turn Dynamesh on. There we go. But unfortunately, since we did this before having Dynamesh, I'm going to have to redo it. So I'm just going to press Ctrl C a couple times until we don't have this here. There we go. So that's Dynamesh first. Now, when we go B, I, so like this IMM primitives, Alt and draw. Now it knows that that sphere is gonna be, what's the word? It's gonna be subtracted from the main shape. So let's go right about there. Let's go there. Push it like this. There we go. So now I can press Control. Oh, let's push this a little bit more. There we go. Control drag, and as you can see, we have this very nice hole. Now, as you can see, the borders are really inconsistent. I don't like that, so I'm gonna smooth them out with smooth with the shift key to clean the borders out. But at least now we have the shape. Now I'm gonna introduce you to another one of my favorite brushes, which is called the Trim Dynamic, and the shortcut is B for brush, T from trim, and then D from dynamic. And this one flattens things out. It's kind of like a bevel. So if you've used any other 3D softwares, this one works really nicely as a sort of bevel. So it will sharpen some of the corners, and it will make sure that we don't have that super sharp weird line that we have over there. Now be very careful because it follows the normals of your object, so the direction of which the average faces are pointing. So you might see some weird behaviors every now and then, like there, where it doesn't really know how to do it. So a little bit of smooth and a little bit of dynamesh here and there will be good. There we go. You can also use your plate wheel, by the way. So for instance, just start like pushing a couple of these fingers here to flatten out this jawline that we have. And look at this. Now, it really looks like a skull, right? Because we have this very nice, prominent thing coming here in this area. Like a little hole there. This one attaches like over there. And we're creating this very nice effect. Now, of course, we are missing the fangs. I know the fangs are going to be very important, and we still haven't added them, but we will add them later on. And as you can imagine, we're going to be adding them as separate supplements. And again, this is where the process is really important. One of the main things that you want to look up for or try to always land on your sculptures is you want to make sure that you have a process that will allow you to take any concept, monster, character, creature, anything, that it will allow you to take any concept that you're given and deliver a final result, okay? We don't work from inspiration. Inspiration is great and it's a great motivator, but we need to have a process. And the process that I'm going to be showing you throughout this whole course is primary forms, secondary forms, tertiary forms, primary details, secondary details, and then micro details. That's going to be our kind of like our mantra or the way we're going to be like following everything. I'm gonna jump back here to the main face, and as you can see, we have this area here. That's this big fang, and there's this like a little cavity, and then we have front fangs, and we can see it on this real skull as well. So I am gonna use it, or I'm gonna try and capture that here. So I know that there's gonna be like a big fang over here, and then we have a little bit of a crevice, and then we have the eyes. 1 second. I get this sort of like issue on my screen sometimes where it kind of like forgets where we are. It's very weird. It's like a bug. It kind of happens sometimes when I press like Alt and Spacebar at the same time. If that happens to you, sometimes you're gonna have to reset the software. So just save real quick and then reset. Now this is way thinner. I can see on the reference it's a little bit thinner. So I'm gonna start carving out a little bit of the volume here, soften up here to create like that, like the main section over here. Same for the nose, it kind of goes a little bit like further down. It's really carving the effect here. There's like a bone in here. There we go. Now here on the top of the nose, I can also see that there's like two main volumes. So I'm gonna create like a shotgun barrels, like a double shotgun barrel. And I'm gonna introduce you to a new brush on this video, which is called the Damien Standard. So Damien Standard was named after an artist named Damien who created this brush a long time ago, and it's been on ZBrush ever since. And it's BDS. And with Damien Standard, you're gonna be able to carve it. It's kind of like a knife. So we'll create like this very nice sharp line here. And then we can smooth this out and see how nice that transition starts to look here on the top of the cheetah's eye. Now, I can also see here in the reference, especially on the real one, on this one right here, see how the eye of the cheetah is not perfectly circular. And right now, because we use this capsule, ours is looking a little bit too like perfect. So I'm gonna use my move brush again because we're still in the primary and secondary forms, and I'm gonna start like pushing and modifying the form. so that it fits a little bit closer to what we have. It's more like an accelerated eye. So it's not perfect. That's gonna give us a more realistic look as well, which is of course what we're looking. Other bottom fangs. Then I'm gonna, however, be polygons because
今までのメープルは序章に過ぎなかった。
click the little eye in the middle. So we have my trim dynamic build up. See how everything is at perfect. A little bit of erosion, right? Duplicate them. You can.
さあ、謎を解こうじゃないか。少年、この遺体はおかしいぞ。
そんなこと言ってる場合じゃ。なんてこった。
何か
来ちゃダメだ。署に連絡してくれ。何があっても絶対この部屋から出ないように。
中で何が。
この子に見せないでやってくれ。
はい。
四肢に軽い硬直が見られる。死後4時間以上は経過している。やはりおかしいな。
桜子さん、勝手が過ぎますよ。
彼女は玄関でいきなり犯人に切りつけられた。右手の怪我はその時の防御創だ。チェーンは破壊されているが、ドアの鍵をこじ開けた形跡はない。相手は親しい人間。部屋の鍵も所持していた。物音で目を覚ましたのだろう。娘を連れ出すため彼女は恐怖に駆られるまま奥の部屋へ逃げる。チェーンが切られるのも時間の問題だ。だがこの部屋に逃げ場はない。脱出口になる窓はあいにくゴミで塞がれ、すぐには使えない。
確かに。
しかし一つだけ開く場所が。大人が脱出するには不十分だが、小さな子供の体なら通ったはずだ。
そういえばイーちゃんが言っていました。ピョーンと飛んだって。
それはあの窓から脱出したことを指していたのだろう。
じゃあお母さんは逃げ切れずに。
いや、それでもこの遺体はおかしい。防御層は初めの一箇所だけ。なぜだ。なぜ逃げ回りもせずこんなところで。そう、どうしてこんなに散らかっている。これでは見るべきものが見えない。もう一人。
え？
これはあの子のものじゃない。彼女にはもう一人子供がいたんだ。
ちっとい愛ちゃと。
brushes, which is called the trim. Put them out here,
まだ
which
こ
is
の部屋
fine.
にいるはずだ。
And then again, the same trick that we did before
ど
to
こに
cut
隠
the
せば
hole.
安全に。
桜子さん。
少年、この部屋はゴミだらけだな。
え
それはゴミか。
え、いえ、まだどれも未開封です。賞味期限は切れていますが、ゴミというには。
そうか。邪魔だ。
桜子さん。
あった。頼む、まだ生きていてくれ。
はい、念のため救急車もお願いします。ちょっと君、今ここは。邪魔すんな。町長取りに行かせろ。
待て。
狭い庫内に閉じ込められたせいで熱中症を起こしている。何か冷やすものを。
はい。くそ、氷が。
何でもいい、早くしろ。
使えますか。
上出来だ。目を覚ましたまえ。君は行くには早すぎる。生きて生きて生きることこそが君たち幼い者たちの使命だ。絶対に死んではいけない。もし 君が言ったら。
ゆいちゃん。ビヨーン。ひひ。いいちゃん。
君の姉さんは一人になってしまうじゃないか。どうか姉さんのためにも目を覚ましてくれ。あの子一人にしないでやってくれ。
おい、なんだてめえ。人んちで何やってる。
少年、私から離れろ。静かにゆっくりだ。
桜子さん。
私は動けない。今私の指はこの子の心臓だ。圧迫を続ける限りこの子の脳に酸素が供給される。
なんだごちゃごちゃと。どけ蝶々取りに来たんだ。どけてってんだ。行かせるか。逃げて早く。
よせ。行くな。
お見事。驚きました。これでも僕じいちゃんに仕込まれて黒帯なんですよ。
バカ者。死ぬ気か少年。二度とあんな真似はするな。
Because as you can see here in the reference, the jaw is of course hollow, so you will see this sort of like U shape, but it won't have any sort of any other thing. So here's where turning off the skull will be a nice idea. Now I'm gonna do the same trick, so I'm gonna use B, I, and then use a primitive. And let's use the sphere, Alt, and draw the sphere. There we go.
面目ないです。
いや、結果的にあの子は弟を失わずに済んだ。礼を言うよ。
はい。内海さん大丈夫ですかね。
急所は外れている。命に別状はないだろう。
ええ。いいちゃん。
少年、さっきの見立ては修正だ。
え。
そうしたい気分なんだ。まあ半分は私の想像でしかないが。深夜、男は母親が下の子にミルクをやってる最中、あの部屋を訪れた。瞳孔の三大、異常な汗。男は薬物中毒者だ。目的は不明だが、正気を失い彼女を切りつけた。大丈夫。それより出かけよっか。
お出かけ？どこ？
赤い屋根のコンビニ、わかるよね？うん。それじゃパンダのリュック取ってこよっか。
うん。こっから？
そう、今日は特別。ここからジャンプできる？うん。さあ早く。
ママ